The South African Motocross National Series takes place over 7 rounds from February through to the end of October. The series includes races across various age groups and engine sizes, from the elite pro ranks all the way to the baby 50cc kids. Among the women taking part in the Nationals are SAVANNAH van Rooyen, TIEGAN Reid and Kayla Raaf, who all race for the D-Force KTM team. They tell us how they came to be racing high-powered motocross bikes at national level.
I started when I was 4 years old. I watched my brother ride and then I just wanted to be like him and maybe one day beat him. So it was all because of my brother and my dad. My dad trained me and then it just stuck with me. And then since then it's been the passion that I've always wanted to do. I enjoy the sport so much. It gives me such an adrenaline rush and I don't know, it just gives me such a rush.
I started riding about 3 years ago. It just started as a fun family thing. Now we're doing nationals and we've got a team and it's been good fun.
I started when I was 4 on a 4-wheeler and I enjoy the adrenaline that goes through on the start gates and all the teammates around you that support you all the time.
It goes without saying that a standard requirement is a race-ready motocross bike. Given the potential for injury when hurling these machines around a rough course like the one at Rover MX in Port Elizabeth, the riders must wear more than just long pants and a helmet. So what is some of the standard protective equipment worn by the riders?
Well, most importantly, boots, helmet and knee braces. Definitely a chest guard in case something bad happens, so crash, go over the bars or anything. But I'm riding with Alpine-Star gear, Alpine-Star boots, Bell helmets, best helmets out there, and knee braces are EVS, and yeah, basically that's it.
SAVANNAH, Kayla and TIEGAN were just 3 of the hundreds of competitors who headed for Nelson Mandela Bay to compete. TIEGAN tells us more about the event.
So we're in PE today and it's Rover National, so it's a bit sandy, it's tough out there. I've come down at least once already. Got a bit of a headache, but we'll get through the day.
Rough it certainly is. The event at Rover MX is the first of 7 rounds that take the women and all the racers to tracks in Cape Town, Bloemfontein, Krugersdorp, Pietermaritzburg, Welkom and finally in October in Johannesburg. There were 14 competitors in the women's class. 2018 national champion Kayla Raaf the one to beat. So what was the competition like in Port Elizabeth?
It's quite a lot of competition. It's tight racing, especially in the sand. You don't know what happens. The track changes every lap. It's just a guessing game, I think.
Kayla has been racing at the sharp end of motocross for a long time, as she explained earlier. So who is currently her toughest competitor?
There's one competition that's pretty tough. It's a tight race between me and Leah Haygate, but some days it's good, some days it's bad, but that's racing, I guess.
Motocross racing is a demanding sport, and the riders need to be in top physical condition. They also need reliable bikes, and Kayla and TIEGAN give us the lowdown on their machines.
Currently I'm riding a KTM 2019 250 SXF. My team is D-Force Race Team, one of the best teams out there. It's an all-ladies race team. We just onboarded another 2 riders. A little 65 rider and a 125 rider. They're slowly but surely getting up there. One day hopefully they'll be like me.
I'm on a KTM 250, proudly sponsored by Fast KTM and proudly sponsored by D-Force Race Team, kitted out in Alpine-Star kit from head to toe. We all look great, the whole team matches, really looks good.
The Rover track in Nelson Mandela Bay is widely regarded as one of the toughest on the circuit, with the sandy sections being notoriously tricky. SAVANNAH tells us more about how demanding it is.
There's a lot of people that ride here in Port Elizabeth and the track is very hardcore. You have to have guts to do this track, and for ladies to ride this track, I'm very proud of that we are actually riding the track.
There is no doubting that the sport of motocross is dangerous. Piloting a high-powered motorbike around a rough, sandy course and negotiating jumps and berms at high speed can lead to crashes and injury. So how do the young riders' parents handle all this?
You know what, it's actually a very nervous feeling. I mean, your heart really stops. Your heart doesn't stop racing until your kid actually crosses the line.
It's a really, really dangerous sport. You never know what could go wrong on the track or off the track, but yeah, you don't know. You can't say if it's dangerous or not, but me personally, I think it's dangerous, and yeah, coming back to injury, you just got to keep your head in the right frame and make sure that you come back strong.
While it is encouraging that there are 14 women racing in the National Series, The sport is still a male-dominated one, with men and boys outnumbering the women and girls by 10 to 1. Having said that, though, the number of young women coming into the sport bodes well for the future.
I think there's not a lot of focus on lady racing in South Africa, which is a pity. I think the girls, it's a very up-and-coming class, and I think there should be a lot more focus on girls in motocross. I think it's a great sport for ladies. I think it keeps the ladies, focused on something and, out of mischief. And a lot of kids these days, getting into a lot of unnecessary stuff. And I think this sport keeps them dedicated and out of a lot of trouble.
The format for the Nationals race days sees each class race 2 heats or motos, with the ultimate winner the rider who performs best in both races. In round 1 in PE, Natasha Ungani was 3rd in both races, Leah Haygate 2nd, and Kayla Raff won both the day's races to be the overall winner.
My day was really good. I started off at practice. I felt good on the bike. Sand isn't really my thing, so we basically plan to survive PE and carry on. Just coming back from a back injury, I'm still nervous. So after breaking my back in Volcom, I'm a bit nervous of the track and nervous still to ride, but it's getting better, and I'm really looking forward to the season. Without the people who sponsor me, I wouldn't be where I am today, and the people who helped me, so thank you very much to them, and I look forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the way the day turned out. It was a tough one, the track got really rough, but I'm happy to end it with a red plate, and unfortunately for the second heat I got a flat wheel. So kept it smooth, I'll try to keep it smooth on the rough track, and yeah, I'm happy to end the day with a great, I just have no words to describe it.
Among the day's other winners in Nelson Mandela Bay were Stuart Lang, Cameron Druro, Matty Milan, Dylan Kirk, Baron de Toy, Neil van der Vyver and Ethan Williamson. Round 2 took place in Cape Town, and round 3 will be in Bloemfontein on the 25th of May.